Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about the latest pretty crushing blow to Rudy Giuliani. It's like the vise of the law are closing around him. And there's a real focus on not letting him escape. So $148 million judgment in favor of the plaintiffs, Shaye and Ruby Freemn, in the defamation case. What normally happens after that is an automatic stay. There's a rule of civil procedure that gives the losing side a chance to file a motion to appeal and maybe some post-trial motions. And then at the end of those 30 days, if it's not extended, the judgment is entered. And that's really, the judgment is the piece of paper that really triggers the rights of the plaintiffs here to get the money. Okay, but so they, though, come in and ask Beryl Howell, the very respected former chief judge of the D.C. Circuit, to suspend that 30-day period and start the clock right away, authorize them to start trying to do what you can do with a judgment, which is attach Giuliani's assets. They say that they have reason to believe he's got substantial assets in D.C. and New York, and they want to go around the country and get them. I mean, that's how it works. They want to, you show up at a state and you present, the judgment and say, we want this property, and all kinds of legal process ensues. Now, so they make that motion, and Judge Howell grants that motion. And she's really tough on Giuliani. She's, remember, the whole reason that this trial was just about damages and not about liability for defamation is he just completely, flat out, contemptuously refused to comply with her orders to give all this financial information over. And so, is he being cagey to conceal that he doesn't have a quarter, or cagey to conceal that he's got a million socked away somewhere? We know he's being cagey, and she doesn't like it. She also doesn't like that his defamations extended all the way, even as his lawyer was talking to the jury about what nice people poor Shaye and Ruby Freemn are. He was on the court steps re-defaming them. Incredible cheek and brazenness. On that record, she said, yes, there's two reasons that here I'm going to grant it. The first is he's a total obstreperous defendant. He doesn't pay, he's refused all orders to reveal his funds. You're going to have to be running around and, sort of shooting in the dark. And that's a good reason to worry and to let you get going right away. And then second, that's a good reason to think that he doesn't want to reveal his holdings, and that he might, in fact, try to monkey around in these 30 days, try to give a huge trust to his paper boy or to another creditor. Remember, he's been sued right and left, including by his lawyer and long-time, really close, lawyer and ally, Robert Costello. And if he's stiffing Robert Costello enough that Robert Costello has to file suit against him, he's got a lot of people he's stiffing, and, he may be in really dire financial straits. So motivation to hide. And then the second reason, so first he is hiding his money, and he may be trying to do little tricks to keep it from them, or big tricks. But then second, he's got all these mounting debts. And we're not sure exactly because he didn't reveal the information, but that's another reason to think that their justice could be foiled, and he could keep them from getting their fair share of the $148 million. Everybody pretty well understands that they're not going to get the whole thing here. And so that's another reason to let them go for it. So one other important aspect to the opinion. I said when you see a judgment for this amount and 3 times what the plaintiffs asked for, you think about it might be reduced on appeal. Howell actually speaks to that issue because Giuliani says, look, I have a right to go on appeal. What if an appeals court cuts it in third? But right now they're going after everything. And she says, pretty interestingly, she really extols the jury and says, you know, that the jury didn't award all the compensation that they asked for. They awarded compensation, pain and suffering, and punitive damages. And the punitive damages were 100%. So they doubled the overall damages to 148. And they had heard evidence that you can award up to 10 times the amount, and that would still be sustained. So Howell is saying, you know, it's a big number, but this jury, there's not strong prospects that it's going to be reduced on appeal. So that argument is on Giuliani's part is weakened. And then moreover, if he wants, he can post a bond and then appeal. That would stop the process, but that bond would be forfeited in the event he loses on appeal, and the bond would be basically the amount of the judgment. So if he wants to stop him, he can file an immediate notice of appeal, but that requires posting $148 million, which he ain't got. Almost certainly he ain't got. So he is stuck, can't post the bond. And as of today, the plaintiffs have the piece of paper they can take to New York and tell the authorities he's got this, $6.1 million condo there. I've got a judgment. I've got a right to it, full faith and credit under the Constitution. Sell that damn apartment and give me the money, or what, the real sort of rubber meets the road kind of time of you've got a judgment, but now you really go start attaching and the like. It might prompt a very quick bankruptcy from Giuliani and a whole process. But, he's basically been bobbing and weaving and dodging for years. And now, huge step was the jury verdict, but Howell is closing that final gap and saying, you can today start chasing down his assets all over the country. Hard to see how Rudy Giuliani could go any lower. In this case, of course, just around the corner is the huge criminal case against him in Fulton County, or around maybe a long corner, but it's also on the horizon for him. So this is a bad time to be Rudy Giuliani, and immediately the process of his having to identify or maybe liquidate and give money to Moss and Freemn is beginning. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.